How's everybody doing? This is Kyle, you're from KyleKraft. Finally, an episode of building a survival base. I know, it's been way too long. I'll talk about that more at the end of the video, but for right now, let's get right to it. Building a survival base, episode 8, right? I believe it's 8. It's been a little bit, so let's run through what we've done in this series so far. First things first, we started off with the survival starter house. Then we jumped over, built a wheat farm. We needed to do some mining, so we got the mine set. Then we needed some protection, so we plugged in the wall. Wanted a cool build so we could look out and go to the nether, so we built the nether tower. Got our food locked down better with the animal pens, and left off with our cliffside storage. Now you may have seen that text just a moment ago. We gotta upgrade this starter house. This one has done its purpose on this world to get us started, but we gotta upgrade to a 2-story house here soon. To help us do that, because we're gonna need a lot of wood, I think it's about time we build a tree farm. Yes, that's what we're doing in this one, building up a redstone tree farm for our survival base. But if you know me by now, you know I like building, designing, so of course we gotta put a cool case around this tree farm so that we can get our trees locked down, but also have a sweet design to operate it. So that's the plan. Now before we get started, just so I can gauge where we're at, if you do end up liking this video or if you enjoy this series, make sure to leave a like. That way I know that you enjoy the video and the series. If you don't, feel free to dislike it, I just want to know. And I'm doing this video in a bit different style because I think it'll be better for you and easier to follow, so I especially want to know for this episode. So yeah, if you do end up enjoying, leave a like, let me know. But regardless, it's time for us to get to building. Now the tree farm itself, it's all redstone made by Mumbo Jumbo. You might recognize it. It's an awesome and efficient tree farm, not too hard to gather and build in survival Minecraft, and it's going to serve our purpose of being able to gather wood fast. Now Mumbo has a full video on it, easy to follow tutorial, block by block, it's great. So to build the actual redstone behind the farm, watch his video, build it up from there. There's a link up in the top right of your screen now, or in the description down below. You'll see on screen, I just built it up. It's a pretty simple design, and it's the one I'm going with and creating this whole building for. So yes, now that the redstone is plugged in, it's time to create the building. Now new style, bear with me, we'll get this right. I'm going to walk you through it more direct here, and I'm looking forward to it. First things first, come to this corner right here on the redstone, right on these blocks, and put a pillar one away, right there on the side. You see where I put that? Right there? Makes sense? The first thing we're going to do is put in some log pillars for structure. So we got that one in there, and I'm going to use iron blocks just so you can see and count it better. 1, 2, 3 across. Put another block right there. So now we're going to build the entire exterior of the build. We're going to do 12 blocks on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be on that corner again of this build. We're going to put another log right here. Matches up, reflects the same style right there. Both of those logs are on the corner of that redstone, if you want to just get the idea. So this is going to be one big wall. This is going to be our entrance, and then we actually want a little bit more room to work with. So we're going to put another log pillar right there, and then we got to reflect that on this far side as well. Now we can put the rest of the pillars of this build in, but let's do this wall first just so we can see the build start to come to life. So we're going to extend each of these log pillars up 9 blocks tall. They're going to be one above that top part right there. So that one's 9. I'm going to extend this one up 9 blocks and continue that on each pillar we place, which is just these 4 or 5 for right now. And there we go. The key detail you will have noticed is this big leaf background, and that's what we're going to do and add in on this far wall right here. First we're going to put glowstone underneath it so we can get some cool lighting on this bush back wall. It's kind of cool to do the leaves as a full wall. I've done it before, and that's what we're doing in this one. I'm putting a line of glowstone underneath those bushes, then lining the top of that with bushes, and then extending all the way up until it's one below those logs right there. And then you just got to fill that all the way across with leaves so that it looks something like this. Now on top of those leaves, we're going to put a row and an overhang of oak slabs, just like this. And I didn't mention before, but we're using oak leaves for this one. That's what I would recommend, though you could use other leaves. I'll mostly be using this tree farm for oak trees. That's kind of why I went with the oak leaves, but you can match it up how you want. Now a fun detail we're going to add to make this build a little bit more fun is these trees, decorative looking trees on the actual oak leaves wall. So I'm going to just make this shape right here. It doesn't have to be anything too perfect, too symmetrical. It really can be a pretty rough shape that looks like a tree and gives it that fun design on it. We can then plug another tree on this far side just to balance it out better. You know, again, the shape really isn't that too important. The idea is there once you build up that shape, you get those tree ideas with the tree farm. You know what I'm saying? It just adds some depth into the wall, covers up the redstone a little bit better, and it's a fun detail for the tree farm because we're building a tree farm. It makes sense, right? And you'll be able to know from far away, in case you forget, that hey, that's my tree farm. So yes, we'll plug in that detail, and then we're gonna break up the ground here a little bit with some oak wood on the ground, oak planks right here. So you'll see I space and gap these out. Again, they don't have to be exactly how I do it, but you can follow exactly how I went. So 1, 2, 3, then 2 right there, then 1, 2, 3 on this far side. And then we'll just break it up and follow along and plug in a little bit more. I'll add another one right there, plug another one right there, just kind of space it out right there, just to give it some depth and different shape there on the bottom. Except for if you get dirt, switch out with grass. We don't want dirt there. There you go, just a cool shape. Now let's take out these iron blocks that I temporarily placed in and put in stairs that will lead into the floor of our tree farm. We'll work on a path extending out from there in just a bit, but we're also going to put this corner detail in right now. So I'm going to extend these oak all the way up. Those are oak planks, and I need this fence right here to post in right here. Post in to plug in right there. The posts to give it a little detail on that corner. And then of course we're going to match that on the far side. So we're going to come over here, extend again. We're just going to go one below the top of that log, and then do our fence in the back of it to give it that detail so it's not too flat on that back wall. It's just nice to have it on the corners for this build. Then since we're here, I'm going to plug in the rest of this front path. So let's put some oak planks. Again, it doesn't have to be anything too specific. Just going to plug it across like this. And then we can put in some logs too to kind of space it out and add to the build. We could go right here, right in the corner, right there. Oh, now I lost my path. I'm disappointed. Let me fix that. Let me fix that. Uh-oh, you didn't see it? There we go. That's better. Again, doesn't have to be too specific, but it has a path that intersects and connects up with the building right there. Let's finish up the details on this wall, and then we'll fix up the rest of the build. I'm going to put that overhang, then we'll fly through, connect it up on this far side, right through on there, and then I'm going to do this extension down with the oak planks. Not sure, can't remember how far I want to go down. I think plank right there. Let me check. Yeah, that's good. So 1, 2, 3 down from that slab that you saw me place right there. 1, 2, 3, then a slab underneath. Perfect. That's the right height. And with that set in, the front wall looks good. Now we can get through the rest of this build. And to do that, to start, we're just going to put the rest of these log pillars in. And we're actually just going to reflect this far side wall over. So I'll tell you the gap right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then put our log right there in the corner. So 13 across, and put our first log in. Then again, it's just that far wall reflected. So we're going to match up. Boom, right there. 1, 2, 3 across again to right here. 12 across this far wall to right here. And then again, that one separation plugged in on that far side. So there we go. And again, once we get that set in, we can extend those up 9 blocks. And there we go. That's set. Now that far wall is going to be basically reflected on this side. We'll get to it in a moment. But first we're going to do this corridor. Corridor, huh? I really don't think that was the right word. We're going to do this wall, then we'll get to the other walls and clean up the interior right here. So yeah, let's jump to this wall. We can take out these guidelines. Remember, 13 blocks there. And then I'm going to plot out this wall for you. So we're going to match that plank wall right there. And these are going to be 2 blocks wide. So boom, 2 blocks. And then on this far side, 2 blocks wide. That's a good start, right like that. Then we're going to have a 2 wide window, wood, a 3 wide window, wood, and a 2 wide window again. So that it's all symmetrical and built up nicely. So 2 wide window, 3 wide window, 2 wide window, right like that. So extend those planks up, match them up. It's going to be 8 blocks for these just because they're underneath that log by 1. Those are all set, and then we're going to extend to right there, 2 blocks tall, for each of the window sill looking areas underneath. We'll plug in the windows in one moment, but first grab some birch and do these little details underneath, just to bring some depth on these far walls and make them look much cooler than just a flat oak wall underneath. So that'll be good, especially once the windows are in. To put the windows in, we're going to take some upside down stairs on the very top of it, right across, and then we're going to extend some green stained glass. That's what it's called, right? Green stained glass panes all the way up these windows, all the way across, just because the tree farm, we're kind of going to texture that green detail in alongside the trees into the entire build. You'll see on the interior too, it's a cool detail. So once we plug that in, it matches the tree farm style and just looks good. Now that we have that plugged in, we can do our fence post on the corner here, extend that all the way up. We can do our overhang right here, and that's going to continue across, and we're actually just going to have a basic oak wall right on this corner, all the way filled up. all by 3. Simple for this one, right there. Because we don't want to over detail, and we're going to put a little bit more complex roof design on top of this section right here. Not over the actual farm, but on this section right here. When I was first designing this build, I arrived at this flat look right here, and I didn't like it as much as if we add a roof on top. Give it a little bit more design, and it complements nicely with this roof right here. So this will probably be the trickiest part of this build, but it won't be that complicated. We're gonna put that slab in, and then extend birch stairs all the way across. Not right there, but all the way across until it overhangs 1 off the side of that window. You see, 1 across right there, and 1 across on that far side. Leave a little gap right there for a low slab. We're then going to step up with half slabs all the way across. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. That's going to be the center point. It's a little skewed, you'll see in a moment. Then come back down just like this, and then our stair will be right on this corner right here. Just like that. Now it may feel a little bit odd that this pillar isn't centered on the roof, but I looked at it for quite a while. It's no big deal, especially when you look around at different angles. Once you get the whole roof built in, this isn't intended to be locked down on the center. This post is intentionally on the corner, and it works out and looks good in the end. Trust me. So we'll continue that shape up just like this, laddering across. Did I center it? Yep. And then coming back down on this far side, right to right. Wait for it. Plug in, right there. Then of course we can do our stairs all the way across, and then we're going to do oak slabs on the roof. So from there we'll extend oak slabs across for the entire roof. Just the 1 slab, 1 half slab, that's all you need. Extend it in and filling in the entire roof until you arrive at this point, and now you got the roof plugged in. About 80,000 times better than having it flat. Now we're going to finish up these 2 walls in just a moment. They'll be very simple, but I first want to finish up this roof and lock up the details. So get some slabs here and follow along. We're going to take this row of slabs all the way across. It's going to match up with that corner. Then we're going to come inside here, and 1 back behind the birch, plug in some oak just to cover that far side. You'll see what I mean. So plug in, extend all the way across, and what that does is make it so it's oak right in there. Simple and clean. Follow it underneath, and it's now looking sharp and clean. I'm going to do that same thing on this far wall. First getting that slab right there, then flying underneath, 1 back behind the birch, extending all the way across, and putting in the oak as we need it. Not right there, but right there. All set, so when we fly out, it looks nice and clean up top. Whoop, 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 whoop. What? Wait. There you go. Now, nice and clean. Runs right into it. And actually on this far side, I messed up. Don't put that slab right there. Let it overhang. Give it some depth. It looks sharp. So there we go. That roof detail is plugged in. Again, we'll clean that up in a little bit. But let's take it back out and finish up this wall real quick. Both of them. They'll be easy. Matching design with the oak leaves. So first, plug in those oak leaves. Extend it up to 1 block below the logs. So plug in those leaves. Then extend that oak wood slab all the way across. All the way. We're going to run it through to this far side. And right here. We'll put in that fence post in just a moment. And the overhang to get that wall set in. Plug in 2 more trees with the lime wool. I make them different shapes. Don't match them with the other side. Have it different. You know, each tree is unique, so make them individual. We don't need to trim this underneath with oak details because it's not the front wall, but we do need to add in that glowstone actually. So if you did forget like me, make sure you put it in underneath, under the bushes. Just so it has some light underneath and matches up with our interior we'll do in just a moment. On the corner, plug in that oak planks, extend it all the way across. Right up to the top, we need fence posts right here. Run it all the way up. And then this far wall is going to match up with the wall we did on the other side. So we're going to do the extended planks right here, 2 wide, not right there, but right across. And then, of course, we're going to have our 2 wide window, have a 1 block, 3 wide window, 1 block, and 2 wide window. So we'll build that shape back up. Extending in, matching up. Remember, 2 deep right here, all the way across. And then we're going to do that birch detail, spread all the way with a slab on top just to bring it up. A half slab taller, and then I need some stairs to put underneath, not underneath but upside down for the windows right across as you see, and the green stain planes to finish up the windows. Finally, plug in the slabs all the way across. Make sure you match them up so they're extended in all those different places. You'll see I just missed for that far side, so I lined it up. Then we're going to come all the way across on top of the window and extended 1 out for the overhang so that it meets up and looks good. Very sharp. Now because we went for this simple style on this build, we do need some bushes to cover up this side a little bit, bring in some different shape and color. So you'll see again, the bushes don't have to be anything too specific, and just kind of build them across how they fit in with your environment. Just build them across, you know, not too blocky, but right there. And I even did one more scattered on this corner right here. Let's do a little bit smaller one, extend it around, spaced out. Oop, give it one more block right there, maybe right there too. There you go. There's the bushes. And I'm gonna plug some on this far side, and then we're gonna do one more roof detail that's really cool for this build. There we go, a few more bushes added in, scattered across, and then we're gonna come up top right here and add in this awesome detail I really love. First off, right, it's gonna be right in the center of the tree farm, so break out that staircase. Right in the middle, you're gonna need to extend a log across so that it lines up right there. So it's pointing out right across. Take out this slab on this far side and plug it in. Again, line it up so it's facing across inside, right like that. Then we're gonna do this overhang. Now, if you built the tree farm, you will have already had these slabs in place. When you build the redstone for the tree farm, you gotta put these slabs right up top so that the trees don't grow too tall and make the tree farm less efficient. So again, if you built the tree farm from the tutorial, those slabs will already be in place. We're just gonna use them organically into the build to integrate them in. Because before, they'd be overhanging just like, I wanna say gaps right here. Yes, yes. Just like that. It'd just be floating there. And we wanna, you know, make a detail that brings them in, ties them in, makes it more realistic. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to extend an extra one on this far side so that it's symmetrical. Then we're going to go one across on each of the corners and extend some fence posts right into the side here. So it looks like it's holding it up. On top of those, we can just simply put some white carpet plugged up on top, connects them in, and it's just a cool detail. Look at how sweet that looks on the build. Again, integrates those slabs we need in the redstone into the rest of the build that we've created. I love it. Awesome. And with that, the exterior is all complete. Now let's run through the interior real quick. There's not much chaos going on with this. First things first, we're going to run a row right into the center of the tree farm, which is going to be on that chest that you have plugged in. And then we're going to extend some birch planks on the side of that. Run it all the way across until they meet up into the middle. Both sides, right across, just like that. You see? We're actually going to have this run into the far wall. So go ahead and break out the birch, plug it in right here, and then extend oak right into the center. So again, it's on the middle there, and it's just symmetrical on this far side. Two details to clean up on the roof. We can't cover this overhang of the birch, so we're just gonna put a slab right there, and on this far side right here. I keep saying far side, don't I? And then we're gonna tie that oak wood across, so it looks like it's a log holding up the rest of this build, just like that, and we're gonna plug another one block off to the side from that, on both sides, so it extends all the way across. Just gives it a nice ceiling detail. If you have those empty areas like I do, make sure you cover them up with one oak plank, just so it looks a little bit more clean on that wall. And finally, we're gonna need some more green stained glass, some glowstone, and some oak leaves, some more leaves. And we're gonna plug in this awesome detail I really love doing. Not right there though. Right here, we're gonna plug in glowstone, put a bush on top, and we're gonna have green stained glass extending all the way across to level out with our floor that I just broke. Now again, this doesn't have to be in any specific way. I just kind of follow across, kind of break it up in a pattern. Let's go like this, space it out in that way, and then drop our glowstone in underneath, all the way down. And then we're gonna put our bushes on top, just like this, and then put our green stained glass on top. It looks clean, it looks really cool, and it's just a nice little theme detail to put into our tree farm. Matches with the rest of the build and really just completes it. Makes a cool interior. So we're gonna do that all the way around and also put some upside down stairs in these corners. I know there's little details you still wanna plug in. All of these corners, there you go. That looks good. And now we can just come across and do that detail throughout the rest of the build. So just cut out holes. Again, it doesn't have to be any specific shape or pattern. I'm just gonna run through, cut out holes in different spaced places so that it's broken up, not symmetrical in any way. Let's do two right there. We can go one over here. I don't know, just cut across all the way throughout, and then we'll plug in our glowstone underneath. And I'm gonna need to go to that far side too. I'll get that in a moment. But we're gonna do that glowstone, so we'll plug underneath, just run through this in this pattern, you know, all the glowstone underneath. I'll let you put the glowstone in. And then once the glowstone is in, you can put some leaves underneath. So I'm just gonna do this far side. Let's do one right here. Put our glowstone underneath, and then we'll get our bushes right across, our leaves, and go all the way on top of each of those glowstone holes we just created. Running through, tying them in, and then finally just the green stained glass on top. So it's level with the floor of the tree farm, extends all the way throughout, and creates this covered final ideal flooring and interior themed build for our tree farm. Let's get this right here, and you can see the finished product. I missed the glass, of course, but look at that. It looks cool. It's not empty. It looks like grass and trees and theme type green tree farm. So it looks cool, right? All together with this end product inside the tree farm. So it's not just a basic redstone plopped in the middle of your base. It's a cool build added together that we can break down, use, and get plenty of trees which equal wood for the rest of our survival base builds. We got a lot of big projects to come. Run through is very efficient, very awesome, and it's all within our awesome build now. You can shut that off, look around in our tree farm, look sharp. Of course, you can place chests, whatever you may need inside here. Run back out our path and take a look at our tree farm. How cool is that? I love it. And yes, there we go. With that, the tree farm is in place, looking good, looking very sharp. Hopefully you liked this build and maybe this style of video. I wanted to switch it up a little bit. I know it wasn't the time-lapse talkover that you're accustomed to with this series, but I feel like that style of creating a video and, you know, detailing out a build applies for some builds, but not for all. For this project, that style of video really didn't apply, and I feel like I've kind of been forcing it a little bit on some builds, and I want to create the best possible style of video possible at all times. I don't think I mentioned that, but I've been struggling with that. I've done YouTube for well over a year now, and I still don't feel like I've nailed the videos how I really love them. I don't feel like I've nailed it just yet. Even after a year doing this, I'm still gathering and working out which style is the best for which kind of videos, but I'm getting closer. This video I feel like was a step in the right direction. Hopefully you agree. Again, if you did enjoy this build, or like the series, make sure to leave that like so I know. And leave a comment down below. You know I love reading the comments. In terms of this video being so late, this series is one of my favorites to create, but it's been like 3 weeks since the last episode. I've mentioned on the channel, if you haven't seen the update videos, I am struggling with the workload right now. It's the close of school right now. I'm just about done. We're almost at summer, and then it's gonna be awesome. Seriously awesome. Trust me, alright? I'm pumped. Lots of awesome plans. So I'm sorry for the delay. Plenty more builds to come in this series and on the KyleKraft channel. Just hang tight for me. Almost at summer. But yes, now we have a tree farm, and you might know what's coming in the next episode of this series. But that's it for this one. Thanks for coming. Eight, 9, 10, 11, 12. Then blop another... plop.